Nobody respects you because you don't keep your word to yourself. So let me say the quiet part, but loud. Nobody respects you because you don't treat yourself like you're worthy of respect. So they don't either. Not at work, not in your relationships and friendships, not even your mates. And the part that really stings is this. It's not even because you're incapable. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because life dealt you a bad hand. It's because you don't keep your word to yourself. And before you get defensive, stay with me, because this video could actually change your life. Because if this didn't apply to you, the algorithm wouldn't have blessed you with a video today, and you wouldn't have clicked on it, and you wouldn't still be watching. Now, quick interruption, because I know how this works. If at any point this feels uncomfortably accurate, click the link in the description and get a free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. It's a daily system that I use myself and I use with all my private clients to eliminate self-sabotage and rebuild momentum so life moves forward instead of backwards. Now back to the truth that you've been avoiding, and this one's going to sting, so stay with me. There's a version of you that nobody else sees, because on paper, your life looks fine. You're not failing. You're not in some crazy crisis, and you're definitely not at rock bottom, because you've got a job that's probably decent pay. You function, you show up every day, but something feels off. And you know what you should be doing: training, sorting your sleep, journaling, doing gratitude, getting your mind and your money right, being more present, and stop drifting through life. And you even start strong sometimes. Monday hits, you're fully locked in. Tuesday, still decent. Wednesday, life happens, and Thursday, you're back to renegotiating. Saturday, you've earned a break, and Sunday night, you promise yourself that this next week's going to be different. Does that sound familiar? Because nothing catastrophic happens and nothing dramatic explodes. That's the real problem, because you don't fail loudly. It's not a disaster. You fail quietly. You fail in the small moments that nobody sees. And every one of those moments chips away at something far more important than motivation. It chips away at your self-respect. So here's the real reason confidence just keeps on collapsing. So let's kill a myth straight away. You don't have a confidence problem. You have a self-trust problem. Let me say that again. You don't have a confidence problem. You have a self-trust problem. Confidence doesn't just randomly disappear. It doesn't vanish because you didn't read the right book or listen to the right podcast. Confidence collapses every time you say, I'm going to do it, and then you don't do it. Every skipped workout, every postponed conversation, I'll get started on it tomorrow. Every deal that you quietly break with yourself. Your nervous system and your subconscious mind is watching, and it learns one thing very, very clearly, crystal clearly. I cannot rely on this man when he says he's going to do something. So it stops backing you, stops getting behind you. And that's why you second guess yourself so much. That's why you hesitate. That's why you feel flat, even when things are going well. And do you want to know the worst thing is? You're not broken like you think you are. You've just trained yourself to be unreliable. Because Tuesday night is where this all gets decided. This isn't about big, dramatic Hollywood blockbuster moments. It's about a simple Tuesday night. Nothing goes wrong. Nothing terrible happens. You're just tired. You've had a long day, and you sit down for 5 minutes. Phone comes out. You start scrolling, eating some snacks. Noise. The gym gets skipped. The journaling doesn't happen. The early night turns into midnight, and you tell yourself that it doesn't matter. But do you want to know what? It does matter. Not because of the gym session, not because of the journal entry that you didn't do, but because of the vote that you just cast for your inner identity that's keeping score of it all. You just reinforce the identity of a man who negotiates with himself when he's tired or when it's not convenient. And deep down, you feel it. That quiet irritation, that low-level self-disgust that you don't talk about. That's not anxiety. That's your self-respect bleeding out slowly, bit by bit. And this is why people feel your lack of self-trust before you ever speak. Because here's what nobody tells you. People can feel when a man doesn't trust himself. It shows up in how you speak, in how you hesitate, in how you over-explain yourself when you don't need to, in how you avoid eye contact when it's time for conversation, how you look for reassurance at every opportunity. You might think that you're hiding behind it, but you're not. It's actually showing up in every area of your life. And do you want to know what the brutal part is? People don't consciously disrespect you, they just subconsciously downgrade you. Not because they're cruel, but because humans respond to consistency. And right now, your internal world and word to yourself is inconsistency. So you don't feel solid. and then you don't come across as solid, and then people treat you like you're not solid. Because motivation is not your problem. You don't need another motivational speech. You don't need hype. You don't need some rally up moment, and you don't even need intensity. And you don't even need a rock bottom breakthrough moment, because I'm sure you've had plenty of those. I know that I have. Motivation spikes, and then you feel unstoppable. You declare that this time it's different. I'm going to take over the world and change my life. And then life resumes. Motivation is emotional, and structure is mechanical, and mechanical beats emotions every time. So here's why discipline feels way heavier than it is. You avoid discipline because you think it's going to trap you. Because rules feel restrictive, structure feels boring, and non-negotiables feel heavy. But let's have a look at the alternative for a second. Constant decision making, constant renegotiation, constant internal arguments, and that's so exhausting. Discipline doesn't drain energy, indecision does. Structure doesn't suffocate you, it stabilizes you. So here's the truth about respect. Because it doesn't come from dominance, it doesn't come from confidence tricks, it doesn't come from pretending that you're sorted. Respect comes from congruence. And when you say and what you think and what you do line up, and right now you feel the gap, and so do the people around you. So you talk about standards, but you don't live up to your standards daily. You talk about potential, but you don't honour it consistently. And that gap is exactly what's killing your momentum. Because this is where most men get it so wrong. You think the solution is to try harder, more effort, more willpower, more pushing, more. But that just creates another short-term spike followed by another crash that leaves you feeling shit about yourself. The solution's not more effort, it's less choice. Remove the daily debate with yourself. Train because it's non-negotiable. Do your mental work because it's locked in and you know it makes a difference in your life. And go to bed on time because it's a rule that you keep with yourself. Not because you feel like it, but because that's who you are now. It's identity based, and your actions follow your identity. So here's why becoming unfuckwithable is not just a mindset. This is where people misunderstand the phrase. Become unfuckwithable is not about becoming aggressive. It's not about ego. It's not about acting tough. It's about being internally solid. So your mood doesn't completely derail you. So stress doesn't knock you sideways. So bad days don't turn into bad weeks. Because I help successful men, they come to me because they've lost their momentum and they need to eliminate the self-sabotaging habits that are taking over their life with simple daily systems. Not motivation, not affirmations, systems. So if this sounds like it's hitting home, which it is because you've got this far into the video, click the link in the description for the free system I use for myself and with all my clients. It's there, free download. So here's the boring truth that actually works, and it won't excite you, but it will change your life. A short list of non-negotiable actions that you do every day, on good days, on bad days, on flat as a pancake feel like shit days. Train your body, train your mind, and keep promises that are small enough to actually keep. That's it. No drama, no reinvention every month, no starting over, just quiet momentum that keeps on compounding on itself. Because here's why staying the same should scare you more than change. Because here's the uncomfortable part. You're not that far off. You're not broken, you're not behind, and you're definitely not incapable. You're just undecided, half in, half out. And an undecided man will drift for years because they never implode. They just slowly lower their expectations. And do you want to know what? That's the real danger. Because this isn't a warning. This video is a mirror. Nobody respects you the way you want them to because you don't keep the word to yourself. But the beauty of it is that's fixable, but not with motivation, with structure. So like I say, if you want the system that I use with all my private clients, comment the word blueprint or click the link in the description and you get it for free. No pressure, no hype, just a choice. Keep negotiating with yourself or become unfuckwithable. It's your move. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on it if you're not going to get your free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. Let's fucking have it.